One of the ingredients that's allowed the Chiefs to be so dominant in recent years is they have more than dominated their own division. That's what helped the Patriots. You have a group of teams where you're clearly the best and you run roughshod over them. You pump up your record. You put yourself in better position, number one, to make the playoffs, first of all. Number two, to play postseason games at home and to win those games. And also, and I think this is something that gets overlooked, you don't cross paths with teams from your division in the playoffs, because I think those are always the most dangerous teams in a single elimination setting because they know you. They're not intimidated by you. They would relish nothing more than the opportunity to pop the balloon that is your special season. They haven't had to deal with that yet. They haven't seen the Raiders or the Broncos or the Chargers in any of their postseason games. You get to the point where one or more of these teams starts qualifying and potentially crosses paths with you in the playoffs, you got to worry about that because they aren't going to get knocked wobbly. You know, like the Bills, I still think at the 2-minute warning of the divisional game this year, something short-circuited for the Bills. They went from being methodical to screw it. We can't worry about how much time we leave for Patrick Mahomes. Let's just throw it to the end zone. Like, they constantly are obsessed with how to beat Patrick Mahomes. These teams live it. They know every year they have to try to do it twice. Oh, and some of them have figured it out. The Chargers, at one point, were giving the Chiefs fits. The Raiders embarrassed the Chiefs in their own building on Christmas Day. Once Sean Payton gets a quarterback, that's going to be, and they beat him with Russell Wilson last year.
Yeah.
Even without the preferred quarterback for Sean Payton, they beat them. So the call is going to come from inside the house. The threat to the Chiefs dynasty is going to come from in the division, if anywhere. And yeah, you got to worry about the Chargers now. Chargers are starting to get their act together. You got to worry about the Raiders. Raiders, they go out and add Christian Wilkins. There's already a pretty good defense there. We got dressed down by Max Crosby at the Super Bowl for not giving the Raiders defense enough credit by saying it's basically Max Crosby and a bunch of guys. It ain't a bunch of guys now when Christian Wilkins is there. And when, as we said with the Broncos, they get the quarterback situation under control, Chiefs are going to have a hard time. And one more thing about the Chargers. My son's very concerned that now the Chargers are going to try to get Justin Jefferson. My son has vowed that if the Vikings trade Justin Jefferson, he will stop following the National Football League entirely. So I still don't know what the Vikings are up to. I'm still not ready to believe that they have no intent to trade Justin Jefferson because we've seen how that goes. But boy, Justin to Justin. I mean, if I'm Justin Jefferson, and I don't know what the Vikings' plan is at quarterback, short-term or long-term, and I know Justin Herbert is going to be around for a while, entered the league same year he did. Yeah, how could you not be attracted to that possibility? Now, I will say this, Justin Jefferson, before you get excited about playing in California. Somebody sent me a link yesterday, and I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, but apparently the high-end tax bracket in California is in the process of going from 13.3 to 14%. So you really will be giving up half your money, maybe more than half your money, to Uncle Sam and Aunt California if you're playing pro football in California soon.
Yeah, if they got Justin Jefferson, then I think obviously right away you'd say the Chargers are contenders, Mike, if they had that receiver. But they're gonna be good with Jim Harbaugh at some point, whether it's this year or next year or whenever that is. I do have complete confidence in Jim Harbaugh simply because we've seen it. It's not like a college coach coming in and there's no evidence of what he can do in the NFL. We've seen what he can do in the NFL. We saw it in 4 years with the 49ers when he took the 49ers to the Super Bowl and was on the verge of beating his brother in the Super Bowl. So I know what Jim Harbaugh can do, and I have complete confidence that he's going to win in the NFL however long that takes. It took him a while at Michigan, too, to turn it around. I don't think they're Super Bowl contenders this year, but I do think they're going to be better, and I think they're only going to get better each and every season that he stays there. I think that's the question, is how long is Jim Harbaugh going to stay? with the Chargers. How long is this going to take, and how long is he going to stay to do it? Because that's kind of been his history, to move on after X number of years at wherever he's been. So, but I do think the Chiefs should be put on notice that, there's going to be a team that's coming after you, and going to be 3 of them eventually in that division that are going to come after you. And they've got 2 of them at least have proven coaches who know how to get it done and win big games.
First year in San Francisco, NFC Championship, brink of a Super Bowl berth, couple of muff punts by Kyle Williams. Remember that? Giants win that game. 49ers had the opportunity to get to the Super Bowl the first year under Jim Harbaugh. They got to the Super Bowl the second year under Jim Harbaugh and made a furious run at trying to erase a huge deficit and win the game. And the third year, they got to the brink of the Super Bowl again against the Seattle Seahawks. So Harbaugh will, I believe, I'm confident, turn things around quickly for the Chargers, and it helps to have Justin Herbert and a coach who can finally press the buttons and get the most out of one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.